Hey everyone, Sergio with the Rideshare Guy. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Wheel. It's a special one today. I'm joined by Donnie from Biloxi, Mississippi. I want to have him tell his own story, but Donnie is a rare one because this is his second appearance on Behind the Wheel, and most people do not get that chance. But there are reasons for that, so welcome, Donnie. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, this is Donnie. I'm a rideshare driver from Biloxi, Mississippi. Uh, Glad to be on again, Sergio.
Absolutely, yeah, because there are reasons for that. So we'll get into that. But talk to us a little bit about the market that you're in.
Well, I mean, it's still a saturated market. There's probably 5,000 Uber guys here. There's 450,000 people in four different counties. You basically can come on and turn the app on 24 hours a day and get a ride. You got seven casinos in a tight knit market, and there's opportunities, which Uber calls opportunities, which are mostly scheduled rides, which I do a lot of scheduled rides, and I
Okay.
do a lot of long distance rides.
Okay. So there's one thing about Donnie that we need to mention. So he just did his 20,000th trip. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What is your acceptance rate and cancellation rate, Donnie?
My acceptance rate, I accept all rides. It's 100%. My cancellation rate is zero. Never
So
cancel a ride. And
all
I'm a
right.
five five
So
star five
when
star
wa-
driver. I pick them all up, drop them
when
all
was
off.
the last time you rejected a ride?
I never rejected a ride. Customer has canceled a ride,
Okay.
but doesn't count. It doesn't count against me.
Okay. So you literally are on auto accept. You accept everything.
Yeah, yeah. Straight up. When I turn the app on, I do maybe 4 or 5 hours in the morning, 4 or 5 hours at night. Uh, try to get out of there. Try to get out of there before midnight, and then we're gone.
Okay. Give me a typical work day for you. Like you said, in the morning and in the afternoon, but maybe on the weekends you change. What is your schedule like?
My schedule is 7 days a week.
Okay.
Basically, I get scheduled rides. 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's daylight. Go do a little senior citizens nap, and then spend time with my family 4 or 5 hours. Get a little nap, go back out 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'm on basically on call for Uber. Whenever that thing goes off, I'm out and running. I'm like 13 minutes away from the airport, 13 minutes away, 12 or 13 minutes away from the casinos. Once I go down there, they're not going to let me come back.
Yeah.
It's going off all the time.
So do you think so you're gonna get some heat like you got heat the first time
Oh,
we put the thing
absolutely.
on, right? Do you think it would be better for you if you rejected some rides that cherry pick a little bit?
Well, I basically cherry pick now because I do get to pick the opportunities. They have a play in words. They don't call it scheduled rides. They call it opportunity. So they basically you're not on the clock, but you don't get paid going to say 15 minutes or 20 minutes to go there. The timer starts like if I get an opportunity, which is a scheduled ride at 3 o'clock in the morning, it takes me 15 minutes to get there. I get paid nothing for that. I only get paid when I get there when it starts, but the initial fee is like twice the amount. Like those are like $60, but normally those would be like 30.
Okay. Uh,
Those are airport runs. Most of the airport runs are mostly taking somebody to convention centers and stuff like that.
okay. So Biloxi, Mississippi is a casino town, as Donnie mentioned. Let's talk a little bit about your car. I see a little disco ball or whatever that is on top spinning, and I see your hat and your glasses, and you're playing the part. So tell us a little bit
Uh,
about that.
well, I've always been Donnie Disco. I've always been a professional DJ since I was 13 years old. Two turntables and a microphone. I also go play. And then at midnight, I'll go in and like Thursday nights, I'll do oldies, 80s, 90s, Y2K. I spin vinyl records at some nightclubs here in town.
So I mean, obviously, being in a casino town, right? You may be dealing with a lot of drunks and things like that too, right? How's that going?
Well, I don't really typically get the drunks because I only do XL and I get a kind of a high end customer. But see, they added the choice. I don't know if they added it for me, but I'm glad they did. It's called XXL. So if a customer wants me directly, they'll call me on my phone. Once I set somebody into place and take them out to dinner, I want them back as a customer. I just give them my number and they call me back, and then we do app pairing. That's what app ride stands for. So that's my plan A. My plan B is I'm on eBay. My plan C is a chauffeur, and my plan D is a DJ. So I got all bases covered. But basically, if they're a customer and I take them to a location, I drop them off, I want to get them back as a customer, and they use XXL, which they pay about twice as much, but they don't care because they're high end people. And they basically want to have me as a chauffeur. I show up and then my app's off. I turn my app on. They turn the app on and we pair up and we go. And they put it on XXL. And that hits me every time. I don't have any problem with hitting any. It doesn't give it to any other driver.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your car. I know when we did the interview last year, about a year ago, it was the same car, right? You're still driving the same car?
No, actually, I have two Suburbans. One's all leathered out, and this one has cloth seats. So I use the cloth seats at night and leather in the morning. So I
Okay.
have two Suburbans that are exactly the same,
Okay.
except
And
one's black interior, which I'm driving it. I never showed it on the show. The other one's leather interior. Because I do have a little YouTube video that I brag and boast about how much I make and stuff like that. That's app rides, just like you have your little extra
yeah,
channel.
let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about your earnings. Have your earnings fluctuated over the last 3, 4 years? Because a lot of drivers I talk to, they go, we have upfront fares. Since upfront fares showed up, my earnings are down. Is that in your case the same as well?
The last 2 weeks I made 2,100, 2,200. So basically they hadn't affected this market and this system because it's 7 days a week. It's not a bad day. I can go out and make 450 on Monday, and I can go out and make 450 on Friday or Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't matter. I can make, the same each night, and the tips are great. And I
Yeah,
put them
well,
in. I put all the tips in my center console right here and show everybody. I mean, probably can do that in a big market, but whatever I get for a tip, I just stick them there. And some of my tips would be, $100, $200 a night just in tips alone.
yeah,
People tip me $20. You got six people sitting in here, and they get tip happy down here.
yeah. Well, they're leaving the casino if they made some money. Maybe, they're just
Correct.
extra generous and that kind of thing, right? Um, but what would you say to other people watching this and saying that, well, yeah, but he's in a special market, you know, we don't have that obviously, so let's say for LA or, some other big market that the fares are low. We show them, right? What do you say to those drivers?
Well, I say the drivers that get the $3 fares, either A, you want to do them or you don't want to do them. You want to cherry pick and you want to do what you want to do. But my time is critical, and I take my time to do every job and do a good job with every job. I'm an ambassador to my city. I know about my city. I know where to go eat. I know about what people want to go visit. They want to go to the aquarium. They want to go to the boudoir. They want to go to the best restaurants. They want to go to the best casinos. I kind of like, I'm a tour guide plus not only I'm a tour guide, is I'm always getting good tips from customers. But I would suggest them to try it. Try it in your market. Every market is different. I can't speak for what happens in Los Angeles, like with $3 fares, but some people are just going to work and they don't have money to tip you. I
Yeah,
understand that,
yeah,
but you can work. You I don't work for Uber. Uber works for me, meaning that turn their app on. I use their app every day. I don't go outside the app. I don't want to collect cash. I don't want to have cash rides. I don't want to be involved in all that because I'm covered with my insurance and all that. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to walk away if something happens, and I'm good to go. So the insurance issue is very critical to me to have great insurance, and I
yeah.
think I do have great insurance with Uber.
Yeah. So you're in Biloxi, Mississippi, but you're close to other states, and you said you take every trip. What if a trip takes you to another state? What do you take it? You
Okay.
don't, you go?
I go, I go. It could be a $500 or $600 ride, but I also have other things going on in my life. So if it takes me to New Orleans, I work on my shirt business. I go out and buy shirts. I
Okay.
may stay overnight, or I may find a DJ gig in New Orleans.
Okay. All right. Well, so when you accept every trip, Donnie, okay, and you said you only do XL and XXL now, is that what you do?
Correct. XXL and XL.
Okay.
Uh,
So if you
uh, uh,
accept every trip, and I mean, look, I don't want to ask you, but I'm going to ask you, how old are you, Donnie?
I'm 65 years old.
Okay, it's about to start collecting retirement, Social Security.
I can't collect it right now because I make too much money.
Okay.
I just be paying to work.
Okay, when you
So
say too much money, well, give us some numbers. You say too much money, like how many
well I
hours
did
are
like
you
okay
online? How many hours
yeah
are you driving? How much money you're making with
yeah
and with your tips, obviously.
yeah. Well, um, last year I put 4,800 trips in, and I had a $19 average, and I made about $20,000 in tips. So it's 100 grand easily, 100 grand. But I have a shirt business, a DJ, and I try to put all these four things. Chauffeuring a little bit if I have to chauffeur somebody and use their car to take them somewhere. I'm just doing like those companies in California do. I charge them $100 an hour to just use their car and take them where I need to go. Take my car, drop it off, spend the whole night with them, charge them $350.
Okay.
Take them to New Orleans for the day, bring them back, charge them $400.
Okay.
Use their vehicle. But you got to create your own income, like everybody else. It's not just Uber, it's Uber plus what you want to do on your own. But Uber really helps you meet clientele to get into DJ gigs, to get into chauffeur gigs, to get into shirt buying gigs, other gigs that you may do.
Yeah. Well, you said you're 65, and where do you find this energy? Like, how do you do it?
I watch Jay a lot.
Where do you
Jay gave me the secret to life. I watch Jay as much as, and I really went after Jay when he always would tell me how many rides he had.
Yeah.
So I always said I'm after Jay. I'm after him. I want to get in there, just pound Jay, pound Jay, pound Jay. So
Why
yeah,
why
yeah.
Jay? Why not me? Why Jay?
I I just want to get in there and like get those rides that he's already accomplished in his long period of time. I want to do it in a short period of time. So I do like 5,000 rides a year, basically. That's a
Okay.
lot of rides.
5,000 a year, and you said you have two cars. How many miles you've driven last year?
Uh, 150, 150.
150,000 miles
Yes, yes.
in 1 year?
In 1 year, yes, sir.
Well, what
Yes, sir.
happens to that car? It turns into trash. What are you doing?
Got a great mechanic.
Okay.
I got a great mechanic on call all the time.
Okay.
And
So,
all of that, I alternate them. I work on one a little bit, and wheel bearings or something go out, or tires go out, brakes go out. Transmission needs to be cleaned out, filtered, oil, gas, tires, the whole 9 yards. And no, I work hard and I play hard. I'll do
okay.
the 6 months and I'll take off 30 days. I just went on a cruise for Super Bowl for 7 days. Went to Super Bowl, went on a cruise for 7 days. Went out to the Grand Canyon for 7 days. Went up there to Buffalo, New York. Didn't see Chris, but I went to Niagara Falls. So I mean, and all in the same year.
Okay. Well, I asked this to everyone, so I'm going to ask you too, but I don't think you can come up with two things that you dislike about Uber. Um, so give me two things. Do you do Lyft as well, by the way, or just Uber?
I do Lyft just to keep it in case something happens to Uber,
Okay.
but Lyft pays crap.
Okay.
Like
All right.
67 cents a mile versus $1.38 a mile.
Okay. How about this? Again, tell me two things you like about rideshare and tell me two things you dislike about rideshare.
Oh man, right here, I love the freedom of just turning the app off and turning the app on. And
Okay.
like when I want to like just take the time off, I just turn it off, take 30 days off of work. I mean, 30 consecutive days. I could never do that on a job. 30 consecutive days, come back the next night, make $500. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And with my age, that's incredible. But with that being said, I get out of the car and I act like I'm actually a chauffeur. I will get out of the car and open the door for every passenger. Make sure everything's squared away for every passenger. Make sure they're buckled in, especially older people. Make sure they're buckled in the front, buckled in the back. Shut the door for them. If whatever they need to make a stop somewhere at the store to get cigarettes, water, whatever, I'll make that happen. I go the extra mile. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. You're my customer. I'm like your concierge of Uber. Put it that way. And I really love those things about Uber that I can just whatever the customer wants, I can make it happen.
Yeah. You said something like a few minutes ago, and you said, I don't work for Uber. Uber works for me. Okay. Actually, let's explain that a little bit better.
Basically, that I use their technology to get jobs for me. I use their app. I turn their app on. It locates me jobs. I go pick up that job. I drop those people off. If they want to let the app open and leave it open for an hour and go 4 or 5 bars, I'll leave it open. I'll let it run. Put the coffee cup on. I don't get another ride. Their bill may be $300. They don't care. These people do not care.
Okay.
You can run that app for 3 or 4 hours. I had a gentleman lose his wallet, and we actually kept the app open for 2 hours, and it charged him like $250, and he tipped me $100.
Okay.
I make $350 for 2 hours worth of work on an
Okay.
Uber app. It's
Um,
crazy.
okay. Well, so you said you're 65, right? It seems like
Correct.
you have a lot of energy though. But it's, I mean, our health is an issue, right? Because we're sitting down most of the time. We're in the
Right.
car, right?
Right.
How's your health? How are you taking care of yourself? And because you drove 150,000 miles in a year, I mean, that's not healthy, right? But it seems like you have a good attitude about it. So, everything is about attitude anyway. So how much longer do you think you're going to be doing this?
Well, it's always pills and bills. You got bills. You get like I said, my wife is a cancer patient. My daughter's a kidney patient. My mother-in-law is a heart patient. So I got a triple threat. So I'm not saying I'm having to get out here and do that just for them, but I do it for them and do it for the kids and I do it for the family. And I try to spend as much time with the family as I can.
Yeah.
They know I'm out here knocking it out, and
Yeah.
they give me lots of encouragement,
Yeah. Seven,
lots
seven
of
days a
encouragement.
week,
And
that's a lot of driving. So,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
are you saving money for another car? Because you can't keep driving 150,000 miles a year and not need a new car.
Well, I'll just go pay cash for them.
You pay
I,
cash
I
for
don't
it.
I don't I don't I don't I don't I have enough money in the bank. I just go down and go buy one. And
Okay.
these cars here in this market. You buying 14s and 15s. They're under the $10,000 range. They're Suburbans. People are trying to get rid of them. They got 80, 90,000 miles on them. They're trying to get rid of them.
But
So,
don't
but
you
they
have
make they
to,
make they make great cars.
I know, but don't you have to like, there is a, threshold with that. Like you can't drive a 2010 Suburban on the platform.
Well, no, they're not tens. They're 14s, 15s.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and then the next one I graduate to will be a 16.
Okay. So you're just
I'm
always buying something with
I
a lot of miles and putting the miles on and junking
correct,
it. Okay.
correct.
We have a few more minutes remaining, and then I always enjoy talking to you, obviously. And to close this episode, um, give us some advice, man. It doesn't have to be about Uber. It could be about anything. Give our audience some advice. You've seen a
Well,
lot. You've seen a lot. You lived a long life. You've seen a lot. So
well, you really want to live every day like it's the last day. Sometimes, I'm not saying you're gonna go out here and you're gonna get hit. You don't smoke, but you're gonna get hit by a tobacco truck. But what I'm saying is, you want to really go out here and experience that time. You want to watch the sun come up, and you want to watch the sun go down some days. And I got that luxury of, work being on the Gulf down here and being on the beach, 26 miles of man-made beach, and I go 26 miles of beach from one end to the other all the time. and I just take all of it in. And not only that, you just stop and smell the roses. Turn the app off, and if there's a concert going on, go enjoy that concert one time. They have entertainers here every weekend, and you can book yourself to go to a concert or go to an art festival or something happening every first Friday. They have bands that are free. There's a lot of free entertainment. There's art things to go to. There's there's museums to go to. There's aquariums to go to. Go out and do some of those things. Just don't sit in a car. Go out and do some things. And you know what? Work from home. I turn my app on 2 or 3 hours before I even go out, but I'm ready to go. But I hang around, do some stuff with the kids, make some jelly, make some jam, go out and feed the chickens. I got some turkeys, I got some chickens, I got farm eggs, but go out and smell the roses, man.
Okay.
Go out and cut some grass, jump on a lawnmower, smell some grass popping up in the bag. You got to do that. You got to do more than just sitting in a car, running around, picking up people and being mad at everybody.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. You got to change your attitude. People are nicer than you think they are if you're nicer to them. You're going to have that guy who's going to get off work and he hates the world. But you want to get rid of that guy and get him out of your car, and you want to just go click. Don't ever put this guy in my car again. And I do that selectively. I'll never see some of those people again. I do that selectively a lot. I'll put negative. Uber block this customer, and they'll block the customer. Send me a message that, hey, he needs to get on the right gear with because I get some 4.6s, 4.5, 4 point. I look at those on opportunities and scheduled rides. I look at those, and I have the opportunity to cancel any scheduled ride that I pick up an hour before if I needed to, but I don't. I don't need to because they're good paying jobs. The scheduled rides are good paying jobs.
All right, to finish this off, I want to ask you that ultimate question. Do you think you're getting better rides because your acceptance rate is 100%?
100%.
Wow.
Because I mentor other drivers. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh my God, he's mentor the drivers to be 100%." But listen, they have done the same thing I've done, and they've seen tenfold and better customers, and better pickups, better drop offs. Because some people have 50% acceptance rate here. Some people have 9% cancellation. They just cancel. Now Uber will, if you put not safe area, they won't charge that against you. What the other drivers have clicked that on. And like bad areas that they don't want to go to because they live in a different market. They live in a different market, like a bad area of the Gulf Coast. They live in that area and they drive in that area. And I tell them, listen, pop, put it on there, and I bet you it won't show up. And so they do. So I mentor a few drivers. One guy is Fred from Africa. He's from South Africa, but he and then another guy. He weighs about 300 pounds. He rides the expedition. But I mentor some people. They only got a couple of thousand rides, but they come by and say, "Hey man, how you doing? I saw your channel." Blah blah blah. They live here locally. They
Yeah.
hunt me down.
Okay.
And I do go to the bum lot and talk to some people every now and then. I mean, I go out there because I have to pick up somebody, a scheduled ride at the airport.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, this is your second time. You think there'll be a third time on your 30,000th trip?
On my 40,000 trip.
On your 40,000th trip?
I'll be at 40. I'll be at 40 in
Well,
2 years.
we will have to wait like what? If you
Yeah.
do 5,000 a year, we'll have to wait 4 years for that. I don't know if I'm going to be
Mm,
around for 4 years, Donnie.
we'll do 30 then. We can do 30.
We can do 30. So I'll see you in a couple of years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can get to 30 a lot faster if you just did $3 X trips.
That's funny.
Well, no, I'm saying, I mean, if you want to show up earlier. But here we go. So here's Donnie. We love him from Biloxi, Mississippi. Don't forget, Donnie, you owe me crab legs. And
Yeah.
you
And I
know,
would love, we got so many convention centers here. I would love to have something to deal with a ride share if you could get your partners together and we'd have something at the casino here. They have conventions here every day. Mortician conventions, garbage conventions, veterinary conventions. They have so much convention space. They would put you guys up for free.
Okay.
I mean, they'd
Well,
fly you in, put you up for free just to
we'll
have a show here. It'd be awesome.
we'll take you up on it. So, I
Okay.
want you to stay healthy. I want you to definitely be safe. And, keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't listen to anybody, don't listen to Debbie Downers. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I really appreciate you having me back on again. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely, man. You take care now.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for watching this episode of Behind the Wheel on the Rideshare Guy. We've been doing these interviews for the past 6 months with very successful drivers from different cities around the nation. Click here for another episode. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications for other episodes of Behind the Wheel as well as amazing content on our channel.